It's great on the big screen, isn't it? Well, I'm happy to be here, you guys. I love Oklahoma City, so.
Welcome. Let me welcome you back to Oklahoma.
Thank you.
Just like I was mentioning when you were walking in.
Yeah.
You filmed a little role called Camp Coldbrook.
Yeah.
First off, can you tell us a little bit about that experience with where you filmed, working with Chad Michael Murray, and any kind of juicy behind-the-scenes moments that might have happened?
Gosh, juicy behind the scenes. Not much juice happened on that movie.
Not a juicy movie.
But Joe Dante was the producer, who I adore and was always a huge fan of. You know, if you guys follow me, I'm like a Gremlins geek and piranha. That's why I'm scared of fish. So he produced the movie, and he actually recently found a script for me to direct. So we made that connection, and he's pretty awesome. And I had a great time. I don't even know where we filmed. We filmed somewhere out at a camp. I don't know. It obviously wasn't Coldbrook. We were out there. It was probably about 40 minutes away, I think. I had a great time. I was here in August, just like it is now. I bought these boots right across the street from here, and I wear them all the time.
Nice.
I just went looking for other pairs, but they don't have any as cool as these. So, when you're in Oklahoma, like, what else am I gonna buy? You know.
A cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, Ziggy.
All right.
I'm just gonna eat popcorn while I talk.
Yes, that's fine. We actually have footage of you eating barbecue in Kansas City from a couple of years ago too. Yeah, at a panel.
Of course.
Yes.
I was eating barbecue?
Yes.
I'm always eating something. Yes.
Yeah. It was wonderful. All right, I'm gonna ask you about Mary Beth Dunstan.
Yes.
Dunstan.
Okay, who's Hatchet fans?
Don't raise your hand, be loud.
Yeah. All right. Spoiler alert. We got a little credit scene that showed that you did indeed survive Victor Crowley.
Yes.
Has there been any movement on potential sequels? Because there was all kinds of movement and words right ahead. It's going to come. What do you got to give us on Hatchet 5, 4, and 5?
Adam tells me nothing. Kane apparently has read some stuff. So rumor has it that there's going to, maybe if we're lucky, do 2 more. I better not be handcuffed in this movie. That was awful. He always makes me do horrible things. Do you guys watch Holliston? You guys seen Holliston? That threesome scene with Kane and Adam writes all kinds of naughty stuff for me to do. He's secretly. Yeah.
Wonder why he does that.
I wonder.
He may have had a childhood crush back in the 80s as well, isn't it?
I'm hoping to do more though. Those movies are so great. I love that character. I love working with Kane. He's like family to me. I love Adam. So I don't love being in the swamps and getting bit by chiggers. Y'all probably know how that feels. But I am looking forward to getting back into Hatchet. Ticks, yeah, oh yeah. Deep poisoning, oh yeah. It's all glamorous. Making movies is so glamorous.
Oh yes. Especially in camp settings, in the woods and all that. Love
Yep.
it. All right, a couple of years ago, you nearly broke the internet by joking around that you would be interested in joining the new Blumhouse Halloween films. Granted, that's probably not going to happen because of the timeline that they've basically erased.
Yeah.
But what would you... Have they approached you about any kind of cameo or anything? All right, so Jason Blum, if you happen to watch this, get your shit together, man. Jesus Christ.
I've talked to them on the phone and just let them know, like, I'll do anything. I think it'd be cool if I like worked at a supermarket or something and Jamie Lee came by and I checked her out, like, I don't know, just something just for the fans. But
yeah.
Sometimes studio executives don't really get it, I was bummed I wasn't as bummed for H2O when she had a son because she had a son. But when she had a daughter now, I was a little bit more bummed out.
You're available too.
Oh yeah, I totally would have done it. But I guess it wouldn't have made sense because of the timeline, And that character was weak too, her daughter character in 2018.
Ooh.
She was kind of weak. I mean, not weak as an actress, I love her as an actress. Just like, I don't know, I would have been more like Jamie Lee if they had cast me, a little bit tougher.
She had a little flash of it at the end there where she kind of baited him.
Kind of.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Yep. Okay, let's go back to we're at Crypticon in 2019, and some people were just saying, hey, you said something, another post, like, how about a fan film with Jamie Lloyd, and then now more recently with things like Never Hike Alone, and then we have Dylan's New Nightmare coming, 2 fan films, but these look fantastic. They look like top productions. I don't know if you've seen them.
I have not.
Okay, highly recommend it. They're very good. But do you think that would be something? Has anyone approached you even to do something like a fan film with?
Yeah, a lot of people can
Jamie Lloyd?
have scripts. You know how that goes.
Yes, nothing worth.
Maybe I would do like a cool short. I don't think legally I'm allowed to do anything with Jamie Lloyd.
Well, that's the thing with the fan film. It's all
it's like under wraps.
They just never call you Jamie in the thing or something.
Right. And Michael's not really. We just pretend that he's kind of there. I mean, I would do it. I think that would be cool. Like do Halloween 6 because I was never in 6. Kind of see where that goes.
Let me ask you one more thing. Halloween 4. Yeah, we just saw it. And when it rebooted the series at that time, and everyone was glad to see it, and Halloween 5's announced. I'm like, okay, great. Now it ended Halloween 4 with you in the new Michael Myers and Loomis, tormented that it's all starting over again.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you read the script for Part 5 and it didn't really acknowledge that at all? It just says, she had a breakdown, but she's fine.
I think I was more weirded out that I wasn't speaking. I don't think I understood why I was learning sign language. It was really weird. But I mean, realistically though, you guys, would I have come back as the killer? Like, how stupid would that have looked?
No, but some more work with Loomis helping you come back would have been cool, I think.
Yeah. Something could have been different, definitely. I mean, I think Halloween 5 is a good movie.
Oh, yes.
If it hadn't followed Halloween 4. Just by itself, it's pretty cool.
That's a good point.
But Halloween 4 is so great and so true to the franchise. And then 5 was just a little bit more artsy and different. And they killed Rachel.
Well, and for me, I'm sorry, but the mask didn't help with that one. You know what I mean?
It was just too soon. I think they I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, guys, who's got some questions out there? You gonna do that? All right. There's a guy over here. Come over here. I'm gonna give this to you, and let's go ahead and start a line over here with you guys if we can.
Who's coming to the convention this weekend? You better all be there. I know all of your faces. I will remember you.
Are you not going to be there? I heard that you're not going to be there Saturday and Sunday.
I'm going to be there all day tomorrow, and I'm going to be there half of the day on Sunday because I have to catch a flight at 3 to go home.
Well, I don't care anyway. I bought tickets to see the screening today, but I heard you weren't going to be there Friday and Saturday, so that's what
I will be there Saturday, so you better get your ticket.
Woo! Well, I'm already here. Yes.
But are you really here? I love it.
Ziggy, what do we got?
Yeah, would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience on the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes. Okay, so I was on vacation. I've known Quentin Tarantino for a long time. I have a funny story. I'll tell you guys how I know him. I haven't really told this story very much. So I met him apparently when I was like 11 at Greg Nicotero's house. Greg Nicotero, he's a big effects guy in Walking Dead, and he was like a dad to me growing up. So I met him there, didn't remember. A million years later, I was at Eli Roth. You guys know Eli Roth. I was at he's awesome. I was at his birthday party at his house. We were outside, and Quentin and I were chatting, and I was like, oh my God, Tarantino's talking to me. This is crazy. And then there's about 200 or 300 people there. We're all dressed fancy, and Quentin said, this isn't a party until Danielle Harris goes in the pool. And he pushed me in the pool. All dressed up, in the deep end. I was purse, boots, dress, makeup, everything foam soaked. So he jumped in after me. So it was like a little fun thing, and actually he took me shopping to replace the things that I had ruined. And now I got way nicer stuff than what I ruined, that's for sure. Of course, he bought me shoes. You guys know he likes shoes. I'll take those shoes. And we became friends. So we became friends over the years, and we talked all the time. We had Cinco de Mayo parties together, and he introduced me to a lot of movies on film at his house that I hadn't seen before, and I watched From Dusk Till Dawn with him because I hadn't seen it, and I was sitting on the couch next to him in his house. We might have been smoking weed, I'm just saying. And he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting with Danielle Harris watching my movie." I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting on Quentin Tarantino's couch watching her movie. It was so surreal. So we became friends. So then, years and years go by, and we, lose touch and stuff. And then I hear he's doing this movie about the Manson girls, and I was like, oh my God. So I emailed him and said, I just want you to know, and I never do this, I would love to do anything in it. And then I didn't hear back anything, and time went on, and then I was like, oh my God, all these big celebrities are getting cast. This is a really big movie. Didn't hear anything. And then I was on vacation, and I was 5 months pregnant, and got the call that he wanted me to come in and read. But the perfect timing, right? But I was pregnant. So I couldn't do the role that he originally wanted me to do. So anyway, that kind of went out the window. And then he emailed me back saying, "Who's the lucky bastard that knocked you up?" I was like, my husband. So I ended up going to casting anyway when I got back because she wanted just to see how big I was. And the reason why he was concerned was because the movie was shooting over like a 5-month time period. And they were like, well, we don't know when we're going to do the Spawn Ranch stuff. And God forbid, we'd start and then she, pregnant, like the belly grows. So I told him that I was due on October 3rd, I think it was. So he ended up just giving me a role, said he was going to write something for me, and he booked me until October 2nd. That's why I'm gigantic in the movie, because I think he was trying to get me to have the baby on film. I think that's what was going on, because I was like, oh my God. And I'm playing a Manson girl, so I was told, like, don't wash my hair, don't do your eyebrows, don't do your nails, and then they dirty you up so you look like you're homeless. And all I kept thinking was, God, I'm gonna go into labor, and I'm gonna go to Cedars-Sinai looking like I live on the streets. How do I explain this to them? You're not going to take like those pretty pictures that women take when they give birth and their like eyelashes are done, and that would not have been my situation. Anyway, so on a Monday I was supposed to go to work, and I ended up going to the doctor and having the baby that day, so I cut it very, very close. So he's amazing to work with. He wrote I only have 2 lines. He wrote my little scenes, and on a loose leaf paper with a pen and his handwriting, and just put it in my trailer, which of course I have saved. And he was like, I'm gonna name you Angel. I was like, cool. And then, have you guys seen The Last Boy Scout? It's the Bruce Willis movie I did. Yeah. So there was a line in the movie, in the script, that I must have said that got cut out, and he knows this somehow, because he's like a movie encyclopedia genius. So the line was, oh God, what was it? Take a bath in my ass. I don't remember saying it. So he knew this, and in the scene where Brad Pitt's leaving Spawn Ranch and everyone's like yelling at him on the, all the girls are like, get out of here, F you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, I want you to say, take a bath in my ass. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell Brad Pitt to take a bath in my ass. This is the best day of my life. And it was the day that I had the baby, so I didn't go to work. I bet he writes it for me again somewhere. He's amazing. I love that man. But he's a genius to watch work. So there's my story.
All right, yeah.
I was just wondering if you have any stories about your time with Donald Pleasance.
I was so young that I didn't remember much about him. I was actually, when I rewatched Halloween 4 recently, I was like, wow. And actually it was 5 that I watched recently. Well, I watched both. I had a lot more scenes with him than I remembered. He kind of came in and did his stuff and then like left. But I have a good story. In Halloween 5, he was there for the first week, and then I shot the rest of the movie. And he had this like big 40-foot Winnebago trailer, and I had what they call a honey wagon, which is like a closet. And he wouldn't let them take it back after he wrapped. He was like, you need to keep this, you're the star of the movie. So they gave it to me, I was so excited. I had like a bed in the back, and I just felt really special. So he was really a nice man. I wish I would have worked with him as an adult, so I could have really worked with him, you know. Whoops. Good question. Yeah, I need to eat more.
All right.
Hi. First, I'd like to say thanks for coming here and thanks for being here.
Sure.
We're really happy that you came. And my question is, you were really young, obviously, when Halloween 4 was made, and it's kind of similar to the last question, but I was just curious what your most vivid memory was from the production of Halloween 4, whether that was like a behind-the-scenes story or a scene you filmed or something like that.
Well, the roof stuff, you know, because the real roof in the house was like 3 stories high. So they built a fake roof, but it was still 18 feet high. So it didn't really feel like you were not on a roof. And we were, you know, this is the 80s, you guys. Like, we were not harnessed. We weren't, like, I was literally just holding on to Ellie Cornell's back. And it was just real. I mean, she had those awful penny loafers on, or those, whatever those shoes were, that were like wood bottoms. And I remember the slate on the roof was just frozen over because it was April in Utah and it was really cold still, and it would like get moist and then freeze. And oh my God, she slipped and cut her stomach open. And I mean, there was a lot of, they took a lot of chances with that movie. So I did most of my own stuff, except they wouldn't let me kill my mom. That's the only scene they wouldn't let me do, was the stabbing. But then they poured blood all over me afterwards. Put me at the top of the stairs with the scissors. So, but it was great. I mean, it was my first movie, you know, it was great to start my career. I mean, look, how many years is it? It's a long time. We're still talking about it. So I'm happy it still took the test of time.
You also celebrated your 11th birthday with Halloween 4.
I did.
And your 12th birthday.
I think I celebrated 11 through like 23 on different projects.
Were those parties fun on those?
No, because it's like 4 a.m. when you break for lunch, you know. So lunch on a set is 6 hours after your call, essentially, and you're working night. So, you know, you're coming in really late, and then it's always the middle of the night. And I was 11, so I just know, like, when I would leave work, I would come home and be early in the morning, and I would always order room service French fries and watch Mr. Ed. Like, I was still a kid, you know, still covered in blood, probably, but, you know, trying to enjoy myself.
By the way, Halloween 4, probably one of the finest endings of the whole franchise.
It really
horror.
was,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's strong. It's a good finish.
Thank you.
All right, we got 2 short ones here.
Thank you for coming. The first question is, when you play in the movies with Kane Hodder, do you enjoy when you kill him? And the second one is, when you produced your movie, Among Friends, was there a purpose in when you put the clown in there?
Yes.
From Halloween 4.
I figured if I'm going to put the costume, I might as well do it for my own movie.
Right.
You know? So yes, that was purposeful. And I love killing Kane. I'm the only one that actually does it, right? Kane's like my family. I love that man more than anything, so I can't wait to get back on the screen with him again.
Ziggy, I thought you were calling that guy short for some reason. I didn't
No.
My bad. All right, what else you got?
Ready?
Yes. First, welcome to Oklahoma City.
Thank you.
It's so cool to be this close to you. It's so cool. A couple comments that I never thought I'd have the honor of sharing with you. One, the scene in part 5, that car chase scene through the forest with Tina. My goodness, like, I don't know if you have any comments on that. And then another, just 2 more moments. And Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. Personally, I prefer the theatrical version over the director's cut. No offense to him. Your that climactic death scene, I think, is one of the most powerful things that the genre has, and I really believe that. But there's just something about that scene with you and Tina in the forest. I know Tina's a fairly maligned character on the internet. I don't care. I think she's great. But I think that scene, and then the scene in the remake, I don't know if you have anything you want to say to that. And then I see Michael Myers and an image behind you, and I know that monsters and horror kind of tend to reflect a moment that's happening. And I'm just curious, do you see Michael as a monster shifting to reflect different anxieties in our culture at a particular time? Or just what do you think of Michael and why he resonates with us? So.
That last question is way too deep for me.
Oh, dang! So if you want to hang out with Tina and the Rob Zombie comments, then please do. But thank you so much.
Thank you for your questions. Okay, when I watch Halloween 5, I can't believe they allowed me to do that stuff as a kid. Like, that blows my mind. I can't believe my mom allowed me to do that stuff. You know, and like you have like a social worker and they were like, oh my god, this is so fun. Yeah, she's running in front of a moving car. Like, it's crazy, right? So again, there was no, like I had a stunt double, but she only did a couple of things. And you can see, if you pay close attention, you can see her wig looks a little different than mine because it's got like sort of side wings almost, and it's a little bit darker than my hair. But you see when he starts cutting through those trees that he comes really, really close to me. And it was the middle, I remember it was the middle of the night, obviously. I had food poisoning, so I was like throwing up in between takes and running for my life. And there was so much smoke. He actually almost ran over Wendy Kaplan, who plays Tina, because she tripped on her cape and she fell. And he slammed his brakes on and was like right over her. So there was really no like, okay, you're gonna, I mean, it just, again, it was like 1990, so things are very different now, I hope. I'm always the person on a movie set now, as you know, now that I've seen what could go wrong, and these new young actors that are so eager to do whatever the directors say, I'm always there as like the mommy going, you don't want to do that. She doesn't need to do that. You guys, don't put her in a prosthetic mask under the water and chain her down. Like, what are you doing? She could die. So I'm protective over people in horror when I see this happening, because you're so scared to say that you don't want to do it because you're afraid you're going to get fired, you know, and it happens a lot. So I love Tina as well. I love that character. You could tell my relationship with Wendy was really strong. My relationship with Ellie, Cornell, Rachel was really strong. They were like my big sisters, and I think it resonates. Yeah, so the car scene. And what was the middle question?
Oh, the middle was just a comment on,
the death scene.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, you know, in the script there was no, it was supposed to be, Annie was in the bathtub and the bathtub was covered in blood and my head was sticking out of the bathtub, and then before Laurie can pull me out of the tub, Michael comes busting through the door. There was never any scene between Michael Myers and Annie for her death. And I said to Rob, you do know you're not killing Annie off of this movie, you're killing Danielle from the franchise. So if I'm the only one without a scene with Michael Myers, you're gonna get a lot of shit. So we need to do something. So he was like, what do you want to do? Like, I don't know, what do I want to do? So I said to Tyler, like, what should we do? And Rob said, I'll just put up cameras and you guys just fight it out. I was like, okay. And Tyler was like, what can I break? What dresser can I throw through the wall or at her? What are my, like, what's a safe word? And we worked it out and he just shot it. And we had that fight that was little montages, you know? And then I thought, oh, how ironic that just my head is out of the water and I'm not dead. I was like, this is so stupid. So that's why I chose to not be in the water and be on the floor and have that moment with Laurie that I felt was really important to have before they killed me off. And then Rob called me later when he was editing and said, do you have any old VHS tapes and stuff of you from when you were a kid? I was like, oh God. So I had a bunch of stuff and I just had to send it to him. I was like, I don't even know what you're going to watch, what's on those tapes. I'm just gonna, my family's crazy, so just bear with me, but pick whatever you want. And he picked that little scene, which I thought was kind of nice. It's nice to get emotional and care about characters in movies, you know? It doesn't happen very often in horror.
It means, thank you for that story. It means so much to me
in for us fans?
You know that honestly, you guys, directors that direct horror are all fans. It's the only genre where they're not hired for a paycheck. Like, they truly are fanboys, and fangirls. So for me, they'll listen to me, and I'm not afraid to speak my voice and have ideas. And that's what I love about this community.
All right.
Hello, Danielle.
Hi.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007 and Halloween 2, the sequel. Which version of Annie did you enjoy portraying more?
I liked the sequel version of her more. It's really rare that we see people with PTSD and how it differs after something traumatic happens. So I was 30 playing 17, opposite a real 17-year-old. So I was like, oh my God, is anyone going to believe this? So I had to kind of younger and dumber up a little bit. So then you see the next one, I'm way more sort of my personality. I didn't really have to like alter anything. But it works because, you know, when you go through something that traumatic, you grow up really fast. So I was able to kind of use that. And Brad Dourif is the best. He's the best. I love that man. So I was so happy to work with him.
We got anybody else have a question for Danielle? Here it comes. Line up, you got one.
Come on.
Come on down.
I have all this popcorn to eat, so feel free.
Hold on a minute. Go ahead, Iggy. We got one over here.
I actually have a non-horror related question.
Ooh.
You were in a Steven Seagal movie called March for
God.
Death.
Yeah.
Which I love, unfortunately. I just was wondering if you had anything ridiculous or troubling to talk about regarding Steven Seagal.
Make sure that video camera's on.
I have lots and lots of stories that I will not share because I don't speak out of school. I'm sure everything you've heard is true and then some. He was very nice to me.
All right, ready?
Oh, I was just gonna say like, hey, welcome to Oklahoma. And yeah, we're super excited to have you.
Thank you.
And yeah. What do you think about Oklahoma?
What do you think about Oklahoma?
Oh, I love Oklahoma. I think it's great. I think I'm going to move here. I'm looking at property right now. I love it.
You're up, sir.
Hey, big fan. I just wanted to ask, it's also a non-horror question, but my introduction to you was the last Boy Scout. So if you had anything that was, I can't imagine what it's like to work in between Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. You have anything that was a...
Damon Wayans is amazing.
That's what I was wondering.
I will leave it at that.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you so much.
That was a great movie. Tony Scott's God rest in peace, but he was, I just love that man. He was great. I've been really lucky to work with some really great people. There's a couple bad apples in the bunch, but not very many. Maybe like 3 in my whole career that I'm like, I don't want to work with that person again, but I've had a really good experience so far. Thank God.
Well, I watched Shiver for the first time yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Would you walk with John Jarrett again? Would you
Oh, yeah. I love John Jarrett.
Yeah, I'd
he
like
had a
to see
really
him
hard
Wolf
time.
Creek,
He's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I was so excited that he was cast in that. I knew he was cast before I was. He's great. That movie was really hard to do. That character was all that stuff. And John's got daughters, so for him to have to do those scenes where he's like trying to rape me and have me tied up, it took a toll on him. He was having a hard time kind of shaking it off at the end of the day. That's the only movie that I had a hard time kind of getting out of at the end of the day. It was pretty intense through most of the shoot. But I liked it. It was kind of like 80s detective, a little cheesy, but I thought overall I liked the performances.
We got one more. 2 more. We got 2 more. 2 more.
First off, big fan. I saw this movie when I was 10 and it gave me anxiety attacks because Michael Myers was trying to kill a kid my age.
Yes.
But one thing I was curious about, was there ever a point that they were trying to make with the blonde Michael in the school? Because they had the regular one, and then they had the
I think
blonde
it was
one.
just a fuck up. I remember seeing it going, why does he have blonde hair? Somebody the other day that I was talking to thought that it was from the fire extinguisher. I was like, no. It didn't turn white from the fire extinguisher in the school. You know, when Rachel comes in and is like, shh. I think it was just a mess up. But it's kind of cool, right? Because we all look for it every time the movie comes on. We're like, there's the mask. There's the blonde hair. There's the blonde hair.
We'll never unsee it again.
It's true.
Brad Harden said they didn't paint it before they shot the scene.
Aha. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm not privy to.
Hi.
Hi.
So we all love Halloween, but the main question is, can we get a Wish Upon a Star sequel?
Oh, I wish. I wish for Wish Upon a Star. How great is that little movie?
It's so cute.
That movie is the movie that it was like 10 years it ran and ran and ran. Before Katherine Heigl was a big star. But yeah, it's I love that it's like a fan favorite. People love that. Disney Channel, they don't make movies like that anymore, you know? That was a good one. Minus the dominatrix dancing on the table, of course. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed.
All right, guys. Before any of you guys leave the theater, after we ask this last question, let me let Danielle get out so she can get to her table, because I know a lot of you probably want some signatures and autographs and photos after this. So, last question, really simply. You mentioned it in your first question or answer, I believe. You're afraid of fish.
Yeah.
What is the scariest fish?
I don't like any fish.
Why, though?
Unless I don't know. I think Piranha messed me up.
The movie?
The movie.
Okay.
I saw it way too young, and I think it just messed me up. I mean, I don't know. I would never go scuba diving.
I saw this little trivia bit about you on the internet recently, doing some research, and I was like, this really? This is
Yeah,
cool.
it's
So I had
fish.
that.
I mean, I like snorkeling. I'm cool looking at them from way up above. If they're way below, like in a reef or something, it's kind of interesting, because I do like the water, but if they come near me, like I'm the girl that I go into the water and it's knee deep and there's one little fish like this and I'm screaming like it's a shark. So ridiculous.
So, no fish at the table during the Oklahoma City Horror Con, guys. Thank you. All right.
And elevators. I don't like elevators either.
All right. Well, Danielle, this has been a pleasure. Guys, make sure to say thanks to her. And we'll see you out there in the video.
Hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, let her get out of here.